What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. Yesterday, we ended up calling the perfect trade again. Guys, the last couple of weeks, we have been absolutely killing it. I think every single trade that we have taken so far have been winners, and we managed to call every top, and most importantly, almost every single one of these moves has just been one of the big moves, right? So these couple of weeks, at least for me personally, in my 5 trading days, I managed to already outperform the entire month of last month. But anyways, if you're new here, today we're going to get into the intraday sell for Bitcoin. There is something setting up. And one thing's for sure, the dump is not over, and you definitely want to try to take advantage of the dump that is about to come. And secondly, if you're new here, just understand that now I'm one of the only people on crypto Twitter and YouTube who has been successfully and accurately calling all of these dumps that has happened over the course of the last couple of months. And not only did I call the dumps, but I also gave you guys exact entries. Like I'm posting live trades free on Twitter just for you. And I would like to think that you guys watching me, especially the regulars, are one of the most profitable, trading communities out there. And this is not paywalls behind some sort of signals group. I literally make a free video every day giving you the trade. And on Twitter, later I will post my personal trade setup. And everything's for free. So anyways, make sure you follow. But actually one quick reminder before we get into the video though. Yesterday morning, I woke up with 60 VIP members from the masterclass. This morning, I woke up to 85. And just so you know, VIP is supposed to be capped at 100. I know this is not going to be one of those false scarcity kind of things where, I say it's 100, but in reality, I take on 500. 100 to 100 because we need to keep the community to a manageable level. And yeah, if you're interested in VIP or if you are on the fence, sign up now for spots fill up. I do genuinely expect them to fill up by the end of today. Otherwise, let's get into the video. Starting things off on the daily bias because it was post bearish yesterday. We are definitely looking for the bearish trade today. Taking a look at the 1 hourly chart just to find out what are the areas of interest that we can kind of execute from. Over here we have this bearish order block. Over here we potentially have a bearish value gap, and over here we have a potential bearish order block as well. So far we're going to be looking for price to retrace into either one of those 3 levels, and when they do, that's going to be just an easy trade. Now I don't actually know which one is going to be quote unquote the top. I don't know which one is going to be the level that gets kind of projected. That is not my job either as a trader. Ultimately, as traders, we are the way that we make money is to simply mark out the most likely areas and scenarios that are likely to happen throughout the day. And when they do, as long as we have a clear plan of action on what to do when price gets into these levels, and ideally, this should also be based on some sort of timing, then you simply execute, right? It's more of a game of reading and reacting rather than trying to predict what the next move is, because, frankly put, this is a loser's game. You quite literally cannot win. But just to give you an idea, right? You have all these hedge funds or just huge trading funds out there who hire even some of the brightest minds in the world that have quite literally, hundreds of millions of dollars spent each year just trying to develop a new algorithm or just some sort of machine learning, AI, whatever. And obviously they've been doing this for 20, 30 years, all for one sole purpose, to kind of predict the next move of the markets. And these people are not able to do it, even with the vast resources that they have. So what makes you think? Well, and I don't say this cockily or from a sort of arrogance. What makes you and I believe that we will have the ability to predict the next move of the markets? Now, sure, over the past 300 days, the track record speaks for itself. I have been right about 80% of the time, but that is not a result of me trying to predict what the market's doing. It's just me following the system, right? Doesn't matter what the market does, as long as it fits the criteria of my system. I take the trade at blue. That is a winning strategy. This is something that I will break down in a free masterclass on the 29th, so if you're interested, sign up. But otherwise, going back into the video, these are the kind of 3 key levels. Before I actually continue on with the rest of this video, it's important to understand what is the news. Now, the reason why we look at news is because, if you guys recall from yesterday, I did mention that there was going to be news at 8:30 a.m., daily of our payroll, and to expect the move to happen between an hour before news to potentially an hour after news. And lo and behold, at 8:30 a.m., that is when the major move of the day started to happen. At 8:32 or 8:33, that is when I called the trade to the VIP WhatsApp group, and boom, right, off we go. And this is why we need to make sure that we are trading around the news timing, or if there is going to be news today, we want to ideally be taking that into account. And lo and behold, we do international type news at 9:45. And so the ideal trading window for today is an hour before news, an hour after news. So it's going to start to look for these things to happen, right? The movement price to start entering into these key levels and then giving you that lower hyper reaction anywhere between 8:30 a.m. all the way up to 11 a.m. See, we are, plus minus 15 minutes yet. But just understand that trading is not all about behavior price. That is ultimately what a lot of people tend to focus on, which is just, oh yeah, this new indicator, oh yeah, this way of reading the price or whatever, right? A lot of people just focus purely on favorite price. They never really think about timing, right? But in reality, the market, like there are two axes. If you take a look at the markets, right? There is time and there is price. It's very important that you take your times as well. If you don't understand how time works, you're quite literally facing half the equation. But hey, you watch the channel, so just make sure that you look for these types of reactions, right? These high probability moves. Look for them between the hours of 8:30 to 11 today, and you're gonna be pretty, set. Sometimes timing can be as simple as that, as I've proven time and time again over the last 300 days on making these daily videos. So essentially, you're gonna want to look for this area here to get swept. Once it gets swept, if you get a finally Tuesday state delivery, that's going to be the entry. And of course, and as usual, I will be posting the exact setup that I will be faking on X. So feel free to follow me there if you want to just follow along with the live trades. Otherwise, let's get into Ethereum. So Ethereum yesterday ended up being the correct trade. If you guys took it, by the way, if you guys have made and sold money over the last like 6 weeks and basically your stock got burnt, because there are quite a lot of other influencers and like trading gurus out there that are just like, oh yeah, 105k is the bottom, man. 100k is the bottom, man. You got to buy in. There's a generational dip. But then they're just completely misinforming their audience that, what's ended up happening is a lot of people have lost money. Just to kind of prove that we are one of the most profitable communities out there. Drop a comment down below if you've managed to make money. Most importantly, not lose too much money. Just because, you saw what was coming. You guys know that I never say things that, you would want to hear. All I do is I show up every day. I read what market's trying to tell me, and I share that knowledge to you objectively. But otherwise, in terms of Ethereum, you are also looking at, for the most part, the same key levels. This is the order block, and this is the Bemliga. So again, 8:30 to 11 a.m. is going to be the same trading window. You just want to look for a short. Potentially, Ethereum may be more worthwhile as a short, but you never know. Now, Solana yesterday ended up being the biggest surprise, because remember what I said yesterday about how Solana would not necessarily be my first choice because of the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum will go bearish and it was looking a little bit bullish. But I wouldn't go long because Ethereum and Bitcoin would be bearish. So in the event that they dump a bit, Solana is going to dump as well. Ended up, Solana yesterday dropped by so much, I think it dropped more than Bitcoin and Ethereum, inherited keeps speaking. But either way, today you're going to be looking for shorts, and this is here at a key level. Anyways, hope this gives you a pretty clear picture of what to expect for today. Again, I will be posting on X if you follow me there. But otherwise, enjoy your weekend, and look forward to the video that I'll be posting sometime this weekend. I think it's pretty good how you are. Ciao, ciao.